Hi guys, and welcome back to Aisha's Academy. And in today's video we're going to be going through Venn diagrams, so stay tuned. Okay, so when it comes to Venn diagrams, I wonder if it's a person's name. I honestly don't know. You'd have to do your own research. But when it comes to Venn diagrams, they're usually diagrams which are used to show overlapping characteristics. So an example of this. So usually with Venn diagrams, it usually involves two circles that are overlapping each other. And there's usually a box around, and I'll explain why after. So in this example, we've got those with dogs for our dog lovers and those with cats, which is not going to be part of me. So if 50 people were asked whether they have cats or dogs, and let's say 22 have dogs, 27 have cats, and 11 have neither. And the question, for instance, says find the probability that an individual has both cats and dogs. The first thing that we know is 11 people have neither. And neither always goes on the outside of the circle. So that's why we've got the box to represent those on the outside. So those that don't have dogs or cats. Then, for those that have dogs, it's going to be 22 minus x. And the reason why it's minus x is because x is the number of people that have both cats and dogs. And so for those with cats, it will be 27 minus x. So we need to work out what this x is essentially. So we're going to do it bit by bit. First step is we're going to do the total number of people we asked, 50 minus the 11 people that don't have cats or dogs, which is 39 people that have either a cat or a dog or both. Then we're going to combine the 22 minus x plus the 27 minus x together, because essentially all of that added together is going to be equal to the 39 individuals that have either cats, dogs, or both. Now, we are going to solve this algebraic equation to try and work out what x is. So it's going to end up being 49 minus x being equal to 39. We're going to do 49 minus 39. That's going to be equal to x. So x is equal to 10. So therefore, now we know what x is, we can fill in the gaps. So we know the overlapping space in between is 10. To work out how many of those that have dogs, only dogs, not both, is going to be 22 minus 10, which is 12. And to work out those individuals that just have cats, just cats, no dogs as well, is going to be 27 minus 10, leaving us with an answer of 17. So that's going to be on that side of those with just solely cats. Now going back to the question, it says the probability of those that have both cats and dogs, which is just the middle bit. So it's going to be 10 over the total. We asked 50. Simplify this fraction, which is going to leave you with 1/5, because both of the zeros on the 10 and the 50 are going to cancel out, leaving a fifth. So when it comes to Venn diagrams, there are some symbols they may show, especially in the higher paper, so be familiar with them. The first one is this kind of downward oval, half oval shape, which represents and. Okay, so an example of this is if a question says, for instance, A and B, so those that are part of A and B, then this is how we represent it on our Venn diagram. And how I remember that this semicircle pointing downwards is and is because it kind of looks like an N, so I remember N for and, you know? So that's only going to involve the middle bit only, okay? So this sign only includes those values that are within the overlapping. But let's say we have this U shape, so the opposite way round of that N. That represents or. Again, I think of it because U is also a vowel, O is a vowel. You know, sometimes you have to make funny links to remember things for exams. So for instance, if this says A or B, so again, drawing our Venn diagram, then A or B is literally going to involve anything in either of the circles and the overlapping back, because it's A or, so either. Then this not sign is usually a dash represented. So for instance, we can have A dash. So that means those individuals that are not part of A. So for instance, if we have our Venn diagram of not A with the A or the B, those individuals that are not part of A are going to involve those that are solely B, but also it could include those values on the outside. Because remember, those values on the outside mean neither, right? Neither part of A or B. So if you're not part of A, you could also be on the outside of these circles, which I've tried to shade around in blue. So best way to consolidate our learning is some practice questions. Example 1. So here it's given us a set of values in A and B and those that are neither. That's represented by the funny E thing. So it wants us to complete the Venn diagram. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is label each circle A or B because they haven't done that. Then I'm going to fill in the numbers that are part of A. So that's the 3, 9, the 15, the 21, and the 27. But notice how I've put the 15 in the overlapping bit. And the reason why I've done that is because 15 is also coming up in the set group of numbers part of B. So it's representing that. Then the rest of the B numbers is the 5 and 25. Now, those on the outside is all the odd numbers less than 30. So you just literally have to go through all your odd numbers less than 30. The ones that are not in the circles are the ones that will go on the outside, which is the 1, 7, 13, 11, 23, 29, bit of 17, and 19 as well. So that's that answer. Then it now says, what's the probability that the number is in the set of A or B? Remember, we've got that U shape. So A or B, remember I said, was all the numbers involved in both the circles and the overlapping. So I've just circled that out just to highlight that to you. Then you're going to count all those numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 7. So it's going to be a probability of 7 out of 15 because there's 15 numbers in total in the Venn diagram, including those numbers on the outside. So that's that final answer. Example 2. So here we've got a Venn diagram and it wants us to write down all the numbers that are in each set. So the first part I says A or B. So it's again all the numbers involved in both the circles of A and B and in the middle overlapping. So that's the 12, 14, 10, 16, 15 and 18. And that's it. Then the second part just says A and B. So that's solely the bit in the middle. So that's just the 12 and 18. And that's pretty much it on Venn diagrams. So now we're going to move on to two-way table practice questions. Straight into practice questions for these. Best way to learn for them. So example 1. So here we've got our two-way table and it usually just asks you to complete it. So there's different ways you can do it. So just because I'm doing it one way doesn't mean that's the only way to answer this question. There's different ways, whichever one's best for you. So this is the way I did it. So I've done the 37 minus 15, which is 22, so 22 girls walk. Then I'm going to work out the number of boys that travel by car solely. So that'll be 54 because that's the total number of boys, minus 15 that walk, minus the other 14. That leaves you with 25. So I can fill up 25 up there. Then the next thing that I did was the 25 plus the 8 to work out the total number of people that drive car, which is 33. And then lastly, the total number of girls, which will be the 22 plus the 8 plus the 16, leave you with an answer of 46. I can fill that in there as well. And then part B of this question wants us to write down the probability that this child picked at random walked to school that day. So the total number of people that walk is 37. Total number of people is 100, so it's 37 out of 100. And that's simplified the most. Example 2. So again, same thing as I said before, usually ask you to complete the two-way table. So again, my way is not the only way. So for instance, I did the total number of swimmers, which is 79, minus the 36 males that swim to work out the females that swim, which is 43. Then I now worked out the number of people that play tennis in total, which is going to be 200 minus 79 that swim minus the 54 athletics. And that's going to leave you with a total answer of 67. So 67 people play tennis in total. Then I now worked out the number of females that just play tennis. So that's going to be 67 minus 42, leave you with an answer of 25. So that's 25 females play tennis. And then I worked out the total number of males that are just athletes. So that's 54 minus 19. So then that leaves you with 35. And then I now worked out the total number of females, which is the 43 plus 25 plus 19, leaving you an answer of 87. And then I worked out the total number of males in total, which is 36 plus 42 plus 35. But again, you could have worked this out differently by the 200 minus 87, same answer. And that's that. So I hope that was useful, guys, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content.